down below on your screen, there's a thing where you can do questions and answers, and we're gonna let our guest speaker do a little bit of a PowerPoint, and then shortly after that, we're gonna do some Q&A. And I think that tonight you guys are gonna be in for a wonderful episode of our webinar. The lady I'm going to introduce you real quickly is an amazing lady. I've known her for the last 25 years, going back to 1994. And when I first met her, it's, you know, the growth that we've had. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, I've had friends I've known since kindergarten, junior high, but I met him in junior high, right? Or I met him in high school, or I met him in elementary school. And then, you know, we kind of went our own side ways, you know, probably through high school. And then everybody went off to college and had their own families. And a lot of those people I haven't seen, but, you know, spending, you know, your elementary years, your high school years, your college years, I mean, your high school years together, it's 12 years of your life that you're spending with these friends that you grew up with. And this particular lady, I have known her now for 25 years, going on almost 26 years. And you know, I can sit here for hours and talking to you guys, her background and who she is and what she's done, but she wasn't always this way. I mean, she has now built an empire, and I mean an absolute empire. She lives up in Northern California right now, and I'll tell you what, I mean, she's, even during the quarantine times, she's making multi-millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, she's got so much money, I can pretty much burn mine and still just live off of hers. I mean, that's how wealthy she is. But what's amazing about this lady is that she started her business basically with a brand new baby, you know, and having her child and being a full-time mom and a full-time businesswoman. And, you know, today she lives in her dream home, and she has built leaders across the country. She has an office in almost every city, major city in the United States, all the way up into Canada. And then, of course, internationally, she's built offices around the world. And she's been given so many different awards in the financial industry, but she has literally built one of the most powerful distribution channels in the financial industry. And so I'm excited to have her here. She's an amazing lady, a tremendous philanthropist, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy this episode. From my sister from another mother, Miss Penny Oy. So Penny, how are you tonight?
Very good, very good. Hi, Sir John Sheen, you know.
Yeah.
I like that, Sir John Sheen.
Yeah.
I'm so proud. I'm surprised not many people can get that title.
That is true.
You earn it and you work hard on that. And I'm super, super proud of you and Ali.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, Penny, I know you've got a lot going on in your organization as your associates are calling upon you around the country and asking you for your advice. But why don't we, real quickly, I know you have a little short PowerPoint presentation, so I'm going to let you take over my screen. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to let you upload yours. And then we'll do your thing, and then we'll kind of do some Q&A at the end.
Sure, sure. And good evening, everybody. Is that all our associate, or is that some of the guests that actually never?
Yeah, these are guests as well, first-timers, and we've got associates, and we've got people that might be in other industries that are entrepreneurs and want to know what a multi-million-dollar woman looks like.
Okay, good. Very good. I'm very, very excited. You know, it is an honor and privilege to be able to get invited by you to speak tonight. Even though that I have many Zoom going on right now, when Sir John Sheen called, I will drop everything. And I appreciate the friendship, and also I appreciate all the help that you've been helping us for the last 25 years. And I remember vividly that we are still building the business, and you are one of the most talented and genuine people that we have. And I remember, for those who doesn't know John Sheen, I remember one time we were at Barcelona, right, watching the soccer game, and then we did not know we wore a wrong jersey, right? Set at the wrong side of the stadium, and where where the rest of the audience was actually try to cheer for the other team, and then yet that we wore the costume. Remember the JC?
That's right.
And after the game is over, and then they lost the game, the section that we set, and then they try to chase after us. Remember, right?
I do.
And
Totally
it was so
remember that.
scary because I never know that people in the soccer game arena can be that aggressive, right? And then you are so kind that you make sure that all of us go, you find a way for us to go run first, and you and a couple of people stay around. I don't know whether they punch you or whatever, so you survive, And for that, I always know that if you are friend with John Shin, you know that he has your back. That's something that I remember. That I don't know. That's many years ago, about 20 years ago, huh? When we right.
That was it. That's pretty crazy. You remember that, Penny. And for those of you that don't know, we were in Barcelona, and it was a soccer game between Barcelona and Madrid. And we had no idea that we were wearing the wrong jersey and sitting on the wrong side. And the side that we were sitting in obviously lost. And but we were wearing the wrong jersey. And so there were a group of locals that were very upset with us and basically wanted to kill all of us, right? And so there was about 20 of us, and mixed up with a lot of women and men. And it was me and a couple other guys who told you guys to all run while we basically had to hold off these other guys, and got in a big old, basically gang fight, basically is what it was, But but yeah, I just wanted to make sure all the women and ladies were safe, right? Yeah. Give you guys more time to escape while we beat these guys up for you guys. No, I'm kidding. But we're not kidding. It was like that. But that's crazy. You remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. For that, I really appreciate you. I think that when you know who's your friend is not during the good time, you know who's a friend, who is your friend when you're in trouble, who can stand behind you. So for that, I appreciate that. So I'm going to share what I do, and then if for those who's a guest, so some of the languages, the name that I use, maybe you are not familiar. You just need to go back to talk to the person who invited you, right? To see what we do, and I have no mean to try to for any ask you to join our business, but I love what I'm doing. It's a very good cause for us to do. So I hope that I can show you what this career make my life become easier and happier, right? I think it's very, very important. Let me show you that what I have. Can you see my PowerPoint? Is that good? Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe you can do it a little bit bigger, huh? Okay. So I always believe that Corona period right now, people are wondering, right? They are wondering that, it's very interesting. We are 50 day shelter in place, right? So have you ever wondered that, some people, I told all my associates, I said that, why that somebody that let's say you and I on the same train, right? Then if coronavirus was there somewhere, then how come that I get infected and how come you do not? It's because that physically that you are stronger than me, right? So, and then how come that people shelter in place, that in about 2 weeks time or a week time that they have hard time to pay the bill? It's because that they are not immune, right? So they are financially is not immune, right? And also maybe that sometimes that people shelter in place, and how come that they don't have much to do, but how come that after shelter in place is over, people become a little bit better in terms of their skill set, in terms of their mindset. So it's all depend on how that your whole what is, sometimes because of background and sometimes because of environment. For me, that I grew up in, I wasn't born with a silver spoon, right? I was born into a very, very small village, right? Very, very small village. This is me. I was a basketball player, and you can see our floor. We don't have the cement. We actually have a sand. I played basketball when I was very, very young, and I wasn't a good player. I was a tower girl. Back in Malaysia, I came from Malaysia. You do not have if you're not good, you sit at the bench. Because of that, I hate it. First season, I hate it because I never have a chance to play. So when the second season before it came, and I took about 3 months, And every single time after the practice, I would stay 2 more hours. I would practice how to shoot because I know I was very tiny, you know. And then I just extra 2 hours that I put on time shooting and then running. And then by the time season's over, I became starter, right? So I can start as a first five to play. And then because of that also, I get scout into a very good high school. And then that high school literally changed my destiny. And sometimes you do not know that whether anything come along your place, you may not have to start very, very strong. But if you can put extra work, and then also if the opportunity come around, if you know how to grab it, and then you'll become successful, right? So then after the high school, that most of my friends, they have a chance to study abroad, like go overseas, Australia, England, and America. So I want to come here, but my parent doesn't have money because they do not they know how to make money, but they never know how the money works. So that this is a picture that when I have to borrow 16,000 US dollar for my student visa. And I remember this picture was took right after my auntie, I have a wealthy auntie who willing to sign the grantor for me, right? And that little changed the life. And sometimes this is what you know, that sometimes that you may do something very insignificant just because he put her name on the signature, and then I have a chance to get my student visa. I'm here. And then right after I arrived, then I send him back $16,000 so that my mom doesn't have to borrow money, right? So one signature can literally change the life. So that was my background. So I wasn't born into a very good thing. And then things change, right? Then I come to the United States, then right now after 25 years, and I thought that if I took finance and things going to be better, but what US is actually, I always tell people that US had 3 things are very important, right? Number one is a medical system, right? A doctor field, they are very good. Number 2 also is a law, right? Sir John, that you are in the law environment. So if you got to know about medical, you need to know about law, and also you need to know about finance, because these are the 3 major things that United States are very strong with. So if you're in United States, right now that maybe it's very hard to become a doctor, it's very hard to become a lawyer, but at least that you need to know how the money works, right? And then also, that's why I study finance. And yet I found that the traditional industry hasn't changed that much. And a lot of people, investment still toward for the wealthy people. And yet the majority, the middle income family doesn't know how to do that. But so we are very, very lucky. I'm in the financial industry, and whereby we do not evolve that fast. But if you look at right now, you look at taxi, right? So transportation, right? So Uber literally actually took over the taxi industry, right? And right now that Uber also have Uber Eats right now, right? So the world is changing right now. So I used to tell them that you really have to accept, right? I believe that after Corona is over, right? The shelter in place is over, the world will not be the same again, right? Will not be the same again. Maybe some of the people that you know, they have a good job right now. Maybe that by the time that the employer gets so used to hire less people, and because you work at home, they let you make more, work more. Maybe that they will allow layoff. In fact, it's already happening right now. We have the biggest layoff right now in the history of the United States. And you look at cellular phone, right? Cellular phone was evolved by Nokia and then desktop. And right now you know that you can literally do business by just using the phone. So the industry has been evolved. And I remember Nokia many years ago, right? When the last day that they closed down the business, the CEO was crying. The CEO said, "I did not do anything wrong," right? And the problem is that he did not do anything wrong, but also he did not do anything. So when you know about this after 25 years, you see things happen, right? So the question right now is like you look at this also, right? The question is actually, it's not only happening in the transportation and also the high-tech industry. Look at Blockbuster, right? I do not know you know about this, right? I was one of them. I like to watch movie. So I always borrow DVD. And I also the one that actually always late. I always late. So they always charge me a late fee. So many years ago, there's a company called Netflix, actually in Northern California where I live, right? So they came to Blockbuster and said, I think this company, they do not sell DVD anymore. They do a streaming, right? So then the board director said, well, you know, but we are not going to change our business model. Because why? Because that we make 12% profit on the late fee, right? They make money on somebody like me who's always late to returning the DVD. And little that you know right now, Netflix literally killed Blockbuster right now. So this is what I usually tell people. I say that sometimes we do not know what we do not know, and maybe that we are comfortable what we do right now. So I'm very, very blessed to be able to get involved and also to learn, like for where I came from, and then where I can become what I am today is people like John Sheen, people like a lot of people who know the knowledge, and then who actually, I don't think you can predict the future, but at least you have to know the trend, right? You have to know the trend. And I was very, very lucky also that back then also the company, like our company and traditional financial industry, is very, very different. Like Prudential, I remember that Prudential on New York Life, they used to, we can't even sell the product. They are called captive. Right now traditional industry is no longer they, right now that Prudential or New York Life, they actually let the brokerage sell that product right now, right? So the industry has been changing. It's quite interesting. Right now, even Charles Schwab right now, right? Charles Schwab, you know about that, right? People say that how come that you brokerage and they are not professional? They want to hire people. People are coming, get out from the Ivy League school. I have a finance major. Charles, Merrill Lynch doesn't want to hire me because that I did not graduate from Ivy League school. And of course, I'm a foreign student. I did not have green card or citizen, right? So they are very prestige, and they want to make sure that you are professional. They want to make sure that you're coming from the good background. But right now, it's very interesting right now. Right now, it's very interesting that Charles Schwab right now, right? For first time right now, Charles Schwab right now is already want to do business differently right now, right? Charles Schwab said that you want to be a Charles Schwab franchise. So they're starting to adopt the business model that what we have right now. So it is quite eye-opening, right? And I also think that when you saw this, right, this is my mentor many years ago. And then it's very hard to see a mentor that with you for many years. And then after, like tomorrow, who's still coaching, like tomorrow I have a huge organization, but tomorrow that every Monday and every Friday that he was still coaching my top producer to perform, right? They are very successful in their own world. Like you know that my mentor, Rich Stolley, he came from San Jose University, that he donate a lot of money for the golf department, right? He built a golf course, and also that he also have the he do a lot of charity work, and yet that not only that they give up money, they also give their time and also their skill to actually pass to people, right? I always believe that you can always, like for myself also, I do a lot of charity work. I have like 15 kids that I sponsor in the triangle country, where Burma is a lot of drug going on, a lot of kids, they actually orphan it. So I sponsor, I send them to school and all these things. But yet I'm very, 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 very grateful that I be able to do something, not only that I can give up money, but I can also transfer my skill going forward. Like Monty Holmes is the same thing also. He is one of the nicest guy that who was very successful, and yet you can see them every single day if you need help, right? So for me, that is very important that who you associate with and who that you learn from, right? And then also another thing I also want to talk about also that it doesn't matter that where you came from, you always want to have a goal, right? So this is a goal that I have. Many years ago, I said that I want to become a marketing director. I'm so sorry, I don't know what happened to my PowerPoint. And then this is my when I pray to my God, and then I wrote down the goal and then I pray. I said I want to be able to close my to close an account on the spot. I want to be a strong, reputable leader. And then people told me that if you have a business, you're very successful, you may not be able to have a good marriage. You may not have a good relationship with your family. And then I prayed. I said, if I become successful, I want to be able to maintain a good relationship with my husband and can get along with my mother-in-law. And then it's very interesting. So sometimes you did not know, right? I wasn't know about the Think and Grow Rich. They talk about affirmation. It's very important. Very important about you read your goal every single day. And I read my goal every single day, and literally I know once I know about Think and Grow Rich, I was like, oh my God. And now it is good that if you start earlier, if you need not have a goal, you should have a goal, right? And also that I became successful, and then I right now right now that I like today, this is my 10th conference call already, right? The business is already after the shelter in place, and we move everything online, very, very smooth, right? So we have a lot of shelter in place. Then our productivity, right? Shelter in place doesn't have to be. I told myself, I said that either you shelter in place or you shelter in productivity. So our business growing because of the business model, because because that you do a good thing for people. People right now want to know, how do they strengthen their finance? How do they not let the money lose? How do they protect their family in case they get a contract with the corona, right? So I think the world is changing. If you still don't think that world is changing, then you might want to seriously think about this, right? And then this is what I told all my association and all my business partner with me. I say that you really have to accept the world will not be the same. The world will not be the same. The economy will not be the same after that back to the normal. Like, you know that Warren Buffett, whether you like it or not, right? He's one of the very successful investor. Like, he sold all the airline. He actually sold all the airline share simply because he believed that for the next 2-3 years, people will not travel the way that they travel. So if you're in the tourism industry right now, you know the job may be gone right now, right? So you really have to accept, and you need to adapt the new environment right now. And very, very important also, you got to advance, right? So I told my leadership group, I said that we got to have AAA, accept, adapt, and advance, right? So you really have to tweak the way that you expand your business, or maybe that you have to tweak the way that you make money right now, right? And then also that we either can be in a surviving mode right now, or we can have a reinvent mode, right? So I think right now that people actually, when this thing happen, is actually people start realizing, oh, maybe I need to do something, right? So, but if you go back to a normal, maybe you forgot already. So at this point, if you are sheltered in place right now, you cannot be in a surviving mode, right? I think it's good that government use some money. I think it's good, right? It's very, very good for people. But as you receive all the aids from the government, you really want to strengthen yourself. You really want to strengthen yourself because you need to invent yourself for the future. Because in July right now, the money isn't coming anymore. How are we going to survive, right? This is what I'm very, very passionate about, how to help people to instill the new skill for them, right? And also that for me, that for my organization right now, I do believe that when I say recruit, maybe it sounds very funny, you know, I do believe that I want to do a campaign. I want to recruit a big number of people to pass my financial education. I believe that financial independence is no longer only that you know how to invest the money. Financial independence also need to be another column, which is you need to know about financial education. You need to know what you are buying. You know what I'm saying? At least if you don't do this business, at least you need to know about how do you, what kind of product you have. Maybe you can ask the right question. The most important thing also, you need to make extra money, right? So for us, that financial independence is actually consists of 3 columns. And one is financial education, financial solution that you know how to put the money. And also, very important, you need to know how to make extra money so that you can fund it correctly, right? So I was told this many years ago. This is kind of funny. They say this is my, you know, for those who's not in our business, this is where that our production, our like, you know, our production or our track record, right? They told me also that, Penny, you can come in to become financial advisor, or you can actually build a financial business, right? So that I said, no, I don't want to be a financial advisor only or financial consultant only, because I don't want to sell, right? I don't want to sell to people and all this thing. I want to own the business. My father owned the business. I want to own the business. If I can own the business in the financial field, that would be awesome. Then they say, well, when you own a business, financial business, then you have to know, just like you own any business, then you have employee come and go, or you have a self-employed come and go, you have a independent contractor. For my business, a lot of them are all independent contractor. If they say they come and go, then they say that you really have to know that when you have 10 people that you bought into the business, maybe that you have a chance the good people will stay. Then they told me, when the magic happens, when you have 10, a dream come true when you have 100. So if your business have 100 people working with you together, then dream will come true. So that was my goal. I want to have 100 people to come to my organization, and I want to make sure the dream come true. So I need to create a magic, right? So every single month, I will go out and I will make sure that I talk to people who that I think is good for my business. Then every single month, I try to get 10 of them, independent contractor, to come in and work with me. And sure enough, if you go through the number, right, then good thing will happen, right? So, and then because of that also, that this picture was taken in our firm is actually Aegon, Transamerica. So they are the international global business. So they listed in the New York Stock Exchange. But you can see all these people, right? they are all the Aegon International CEO. So every single year, Aegon, they are 9 countries, they are listed public trade. In United States, they are in New York Stock Exchange, right? So I just became one of the CEO in Transamerica or World Financial Group, so that because I'm Chinese, but I'm from Malaysia, so I'm not from China, I'm not from Taiwan. So politically, I correct, and also the way we done the business, so that Aegon said, okay, why don't that you come in to represent World Financial Group? So we were in. So this is how they train their CEO every single year. They will take them to a different country. So I was in. This is me. I was in China when they just acquired China. They signed a contract. They built an insurance company in China. They combined with the local government. So I remember these all lady. They are all a student for Tsinghua University. If you are Chinese, you know Tsinghua University is like Stanford and Harvard in United States, very prestigious business. They came in that they become a translator, right? They were coached around, and only me and her. She's from Netherlands. We are all lady, right? We are only 2 lady. This is all the translator and a facilitator. You look at this is all men. So financial industry is a female domination industry, right? So I was actually very intimidated when I was invited, because they are so talented. They just acquired Merrill Lynch, right? They just acquired Transamerica. They do a merger acquisition, right? And then they were wondering that why they acquire our company, right? But sure enough, so I remember this guy is actually one of the CEO that I went I went there with him to get together in this group. And right now, Alex, right? So Alex is among the group. He became right now he's a CEO international in Aegon International, right? So for those who doesn't know Aegon, that right now we have Bermuda, Brazil, Canada, and Mexico. We also in China, Hong Kong, India, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia. They are all international company, right? And then in Europe, they are French, Hungary, Italy, Netherlands, Portugal, Poland. So we are very, very huge company. The reason I want to share this is just to let you know, right? If I never have a chance to learn all the soft skill, right? Thinking, grow rich, setting goal, you know what I'm saying? You want to become entrepreneur rather than employee. You got to have mental toughness. I can never get into this company and do well, right? So, and also it's very interesting also right now that I remember when we joined the company, when they go acquire things, Aegon, even some of the CEO, they have some doubt. They say, well, how come that they acquire this company? It's a very, very small company, right? And then sure enough right now that this is in our world, we call 10K, which is a annual report of the public trade company. You can actually Google a Security Exchange Commissioner. You can Google Aegon in this public website. Then you can look at all the report I just showed to you, right? So it is very interesting, and I do believe right now, I believe that if you want to do well, we need to invest in the will set. You can have all the skill set, it's very important. You need to learn about this. The most important thing also, you need to have will set. How is your mindset is very important. And also, I believe that we need to invest in long-term mentality. Some people do become successful earlier. Some people take a little bit longer time, but many of them do not become successful because they quit too early, right? So if you know about strengthen your mindset and your will set, and you know this business is good for long-term mentality. When you have a long-term mentality, you will do a right thing for people. You will do a thing right. You will do a right thing for people, and then your business will be sustained. So the business becomes very sustainable. And also that this is my franchise that I have. So right now, this is all my franchise, all my broker. This is all my broker. In our world, we call SMD, right? So, like for example, I like to demonstrate. Like for example, if I build this is, let's say if I'm a Century 21, this is all my franchisee, right? And then in our business structure right now, my franchisee can actually build another franchisee. So we are multi-layer franchisee. So this is my 25 year that I did, and also this is my CEO. This is more like my $500,000 or $1 million when they became a CEO per se, meaning that they do about $1.5 million in 6 months of production, then they become CEO. So usually by then they are about $500,000 income earner a year. So I have about 19 of them right now, and also that I think we have about 11 of them make $1 million a year. I usually tell people, I say that in the world right now, and I really do not think that to brag about any income. I just think that sometimes you really have to know if you want to learn, if you want to look at any business opportunity, you really want to consider finance. You know what I'm saying? For me, I think if you have time, especially our business, right? It's just amazing right now. This is all the top leader. And then after 25 years, the money doesn't change us. Doesn't change us. We still work very hard. And I think it's good that you know that when you're going out. And I told all my friends that who devote their life to do a charity work, and I really appreciate them. And then all I can do is actually I donate money for them. But I told them, I say that I like what I'm doing also, because I think that mine is actually I teach them how to fish. So then when they make money, so every single year I will take all the people that we go around the world to do some charity work. So I believe that good people need to make good money, and great people need to great money, right? So money is not a bad thing if money is made by good people, right? So if you are good people, when you make money, if you don't need money, that you can actually contribute out. There's a lot of people need help right now, right? So, and this is very interesting. You become who you associate with, right? My husband, we live in the ranch, and my husband is a farm boy, you know, when I met him. And by the way, next month it will be our 30-year anniversary, right? Wedding anniversary, right? So he's a farm boy that he like to, so he have a farm, right? So that one of my friend just one of my friends just give him a goat, right? This goat is actually the reason why, you know, in Silicon Valley, there's a lot of people that they have goat and pet as a pet. So this goat was grown up with the dog, right? Is in the dog. So but his name is called Yu. So when a dog passed away, Yu need to have somebody adopt them. So that we adopt Yu, right? The goat. And then Yu never eat grass. Yu only eat grain. Yu eat dry food. So when we have grain, Yu back into our backyard, he forgot that he's a goat. He did not take anything. He just want a dry food, right? And also he want attention, and he cry every single day. Then I told my husband, I said, maybe we have to teach him how to eat grass. This is because he forgot. He thought he's a dog. So sometimes, and then I told my husband, I said, maybe that we should get more a goat with him so that we can keep him company. And sure enough, this goat that we have actually, this goat that actually we have, they will grow in the farm, so they eat grass, right? So sure enough, after a week later, then Yu no longer eat grain anymore. He eat grass right now. And this is what I usually tell people. I say sometimes that who you associate is very important. And I always believe, I sincerely believe, I believe that every human nature, every single one of you in this phone call, you have the best in you. You have the best in you, right? And just like when we are young, when we at the Halloween time, that we want to dress up to become we want to dress up, right? And then to become a superhero. And along the way, we lost our dream, right? We lost our dream. So sometimes that you are so good, you do not know, because that you hang around people that who doesn't think bigger thing is important, who doesn't get the best out of you, right? So even the animal right now, you right now become a god right now, right? So don't forget who you are, and you have to remember that you are very good at what you are doing, right? And then I this is my home. This is my front yard. Every single day that I look at this flower, and my mom borrowed money for me to be here, right? So right now the garden is a beautiful spring right now. So there's a lot of flower going on, and my mom used to worry that, oh my God, I borrow money, and then your auntie said that you're the more expensive daughter. So right now shelter in place is good that she can. Right, she's not at home and she can walk around and see all these things, and then she will take picture. Right, I told my mom, don't take picture inside. Right, I don't want to let people see where I live and whatever. But it's very personal. Oh, this is a beautiful flower. I want to send to my friend to let them know that they should send their kids overseas. They need to study finance, because finance they know how to help people to structure their finance, and also they know how the money works, and they never have to work for money. They can let the money work for them, right? And also, and this was me when I first started. My daughter was very young. I don't know, John, you know, Ting Ting. It was very, very young, right? Right now, this is my two daughter, right? So if you ask me that, will the career when you become successful, that do you have to compromise your business or your family? Like Shin, Sir John Shin right now, that you are very, very successful, and yet that your family is just wonderful, right? So you can have it all. If you can have it all, if you work hard, if you you can have it all, if you do good thing for people, right? So this is why that I still want to work very hard. I believe that we are in here, right? We are in here right now that we are lower, they have lower income America, middle income America, or front income America. When I first came here, we are here, right? A lot of our friends are here. So we are a middle income family. And then throughout the way, right, they told me, they say that our goal is to, from here, to be affluent, right? To become financially independent. And then they let us work with a group of people, right? They let us work with a group of people. And sure enough that I was here before. Remember, I borrowed money for me to be here, to come to the United States and study, and then join this business. And after 25 years, I'm right, me and all my friends that who along with me, like John Shin or Sir John Shin, we are toward this front right now, right? So right now, our goals right now, I do believe that either you are here, right? Either you are here, right? Or you are here, right? If you are here, you can move out. Maybe take a little bit longer, right? If you work, you need to work a little bit harder. If you're middle income already, then you then maybe you have a connection, you have a skill set already, maybe a little easier. I came from this side of the spectrum, right? Then if you are here right now, maybe that you can actually do a little bit better, right? Because you have the market to serve or whatever. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Our goal right now, where you are right now, if you continue move forward, good things gonna happen, right? So if you are here already, then it's about time for you to lean back and pull people from here to here, right? And also, if you are here right now, it's never too late to actually pull people from here. This is why I'm excited to go out and talk to a lot of people. This is why that we have about 600 over people on the call right now, because we want to spread our message around the whole United States, right? And then this is what I want to share with you. I believe that right now, it's not about how we do it, so, but how will we do it in a different world, right? It's not about how we're going to do it, but it's how will you do it in a different world. The most important thing, will you do it, right? Will you do it, right? I really want to appreciate every single one of you. You get on the call, you could have watched Netflix right now, right? You come in and listen to me, right? So I'm not going to give you my money, what I'm saying, but I just want to share you what the mindset, what is this opportunity, and what is the experience I'm going through. Hopefully I can inspire some of you, right? And also, why do you need to do that? So do I have a lot of obstacles when I build a business? Yes, definitely. But every single time I look back and I want to ask myself, do I have any other choice, right? I wasn't born in a very wealthy family, right? I was one of the statistics that they showed to me that if you America 100 people, when they start working, when they're born until they are 65, only 4 of them become wealthy, right? I was one of the statistics. But right now, but everything also have exception. Everything also has exception. I think our firm had the most exception, right? Right? We came from all normal background right now, that because of this platform, we can go out and do a lot of charity. We can go out to help a lot of people, right? But also we pay the same price that other industries paying. We have to work hard, right? But then every time we get frustrated, we will go back to why that we do what we do, right? So I also think that right now is the time when hero arrives, right? If you are very fortunate that you are home and then you don't have to worry about money, then you might want to go out and do some charity, right? People need masks, they need all those donation. If your family is actually not doing that well, or if you have family that who actually sick or whatever, and I pray for you. I do believe that tough time never lasts, and tough people do, right? So you might want to reach out to people who talk to you. Maybe you want to have another second income. Maybe you want to have some skill set. So by the time that this thing's over, and I also believe that this will not be the last time. It will come again. Hopefully, by the time that it come again, you're in a better position. So if you are the lucky one right now, it is the time when hero arise, right? You need to fight, right? So we all counting on each other, because I think that the world need people like us, right? But you and me, right? Who believe in yourself, right? Who believe in yourself, who believe that you can do much more than what you do for your own family. you also need to believe that you can change your life, right? That's I want to share with you, Shin, right? I call Shin, right? I call Sir John Shin. I call Shin for many years. So
Yeah, and you can call me whatever you want, Penny. It doesn't matter. First of all, Penny, bravo. I can't tell you how proud I am of you, and I'm sure your parents are super proud of you and making that investment in you and for you to work as hard as you did for your family, for your mom. And I'm sure when she showed up at your house, she almost fainted, I'm sure, to see what a beautiful compound. I mean, you guys, there's a lot of people who have houses, and then there's big houses, and then there's mansions, and then there's mega mansions. And Penny lives in Northern California in a mega mansion house. I mean, I've been there, and her whole property. How big is your property now? Well, when you bought it, Penny?
we have 11 acres.
Yeah, 11. You guys, 11 acres in Northern California. That's not cheap. Okay, I can tell you that right now. So, and you've got a lot of animals. It seems like your compound is expanding with more animals now, right?
Yeah, we have a 50 over chickens, so we have a lot of eggs. So I give a lot of egg during the Corona period time. So we have organic egg. We also have beehive, so we have a lot of honey.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, get this. When I was at her house, they had this huge like cage, and they have their own beehive, and they basically manufacture their own honey on their property, which is pretty amazing. So, you know, during tough times, you're self-contained on your property. I mean, it's awesome. Last time when I was at her house, I walked into her kitchen. I couldn't believe how many eggs there were in her kitchen. I mean, they'll never have a deficiency of protein in their house.
Yes.
Well, listen, Penny, there's some questions I want to ask you, and thank you so much for sharing that presentation. It was very inspiring, and really thinking about all the things that are going on around the world and how people need to make some massive changes in their life. The first question I have for you is, during your, how do I say this? Like, you know, in the development of your business, was there ever a time in your first 2, 3, 4 years where you felt discouraged? You know, that maybe like that the things that you wanted, that your vision, like everybody always says, have a vision, have a dream, don't give up. But it doesn't always happen right away for a lot of people, right? For some people, boom, it happens. And then there's other people, it takes time to have those things begin to, all the success or whatever people call success manifests itself. Did you ever have times where you were discouraged in the early part of your life, or not your life, but in your business career?
Yes, definitely. I think that struggle equal to strength, right? Only you go through struggle time, then you build your strength. And if everything very smooth, and then you cannot build anything solid, right? I did, you know. In fact, that a part of the adversity is actually throughout your year, right? I only think that you know how to handle that, because my kids was very young when I started the business. So my kids was 8 months old. Then my husband loved me wholeheartedly. He will let me go out and build my business. But there's a lot of family, even my own family doesn't, especially my in-law, they don't appreciate that, or they understand why that you are not home all the time, right? So then I just said you always have to go back to a why. And also, and then the business doesn't groom all the time, right? Sometimes business go up, sometimes business go down. 2 things. Number one also is there's something I can control, there's something I cannot control. So every single time I go to some obstacle, I told myself also, okay, this already happened, right? So what can I learn from that? Will my failure to strengthen me, or the failure destroy me, right? So in fact, I learned more lesson through when I go through tough time, right? So I learned much more lessons. So I always believe that whatever doesn't kill you will make you, all the time. Like family, and then you constantly have to communicate, and then your business and your skill set had to be better. But the most important thing also, your mindset had to be stronger. I remember one of your top leader, one of your top executive asked me, Cass, he said that, Penny, how do you build a mental toughness, right? I remember many years ago, I said, Cass, you just have to go through enough tough time. I use the word, say, you just need to go through enough crap, then then you become strong, right? So yeah, I appreciate people who go through tough time and then who doesn't quit, and that you know that they give a lot of inspiration for other people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So knowing what you know today about business, if you were to start all over, what would be a few things that you would change that you didn't do earlier in your career? So what would you do differently knowing what you know now?
I think I was very, very young when I first started business, and then I was so busy about doing the business itself. I think more like working in the business rather on the business. If I can do it one more time, John Shin, I will have a better self improvement. I will do a self improvement, meaning that reading or I will do more self improvement at the early stage of my career.
Yeah,
right? So
sure.
so that is a big thing. I think if I had to do it one more time, I will do more self improvement. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot of skill by doing that. But if I know how to equip yourself in the early stage, then my business can be even bigger, right? So right now that I'm 54 years old this year, right? So I can't regret. I say, oh my, I read a lot of stuff, but I say I could have done it when I was in early 20. You know what I'm saying? I could have do more seminar. I could have learn more things, right? But it's never too late. But I think that if you are still right now new, if I have to do it one more time, I will do more self improvement.
Gotcha. Okay. So another question is, were you ever concerned that maybe your business wasn't growing?
Yeah, you can't worry, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm very, very competitive by nature, you know what I'm saying? Then I do even until now. I think it's growing, but right now it's a kind of like not growing as fast as I want to. That actually bother me also. So then but I think worry is one thing, but also that then also it's a time to reflect, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, I have Rich Dolly, my mentor is going to do accountability call for me, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Twice a week, right? Then this kind of stuff, so that you go and seek help. But I also think that business it doesn't go up this way, you know what I'm saying? Business go up this way, am I right? So
Yeah.
that every single time when you go down, then you can actually when the low point, and then you can bounce back fast higher.
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah. So yeah, I think you have to be worried, happy and worried. Like for example, Samsung, right? I love the one of the CEO, one of the board meeting. He said that Samsung have the philosophy that the guy, you maybe you know him. He's a Korean, right? He said that I always worry that Samsung may not be survived tomorrow. So if you have that mentality, you will grow. You will not slow down. Samsung have this philosophy. When I listen to him, they translate. He speak Korean, but they translate in English, and I say, oh my God, this is so good. Like for example, Alibaba, right? Jack Ma, like you interview him, he said the same thing. He said that I worry that when we do good, right? So right now that I worry that maybe the Alibaba will not be able to stay for another 20 years. That he always say that. So people have, then when you have this mentality, then you want to grow. You know what I'm saying? You want to grow.
Yeah. Now, as a mom, as a female building a business, any kind of business, it demands a lot of time. And so how did you balance growing a business and at the same time being a mom and being a wife and being a daughter and juggling all that stuff and still building a business? Like, how did you juggle that? How did you know how much time to put over here and how much time to put over here? And what did you do?
I think that you can never, balance, like they say, how do you have a balanced life, right? That's what people ask you, right? So balance is actually, doesn't exist, right? In life, it's always balance and off balance, right? For me, that fundamental, as a human nature, the fundamental core value never change, right? How do you become a good daughter? You need to care for your parents, right? Like for example, today that I just went to my mom because like to make sure that when she talked to doctor, that she does. So loving your parents are very, very important for me. That my parents, my whole world, right? So when I do that, then my daughter can see how I treat my parents. You know what I'm saying? It's paying forward, right? And also that then also, so loving your parents, loving your kids is right. maybe I don't spend a lot of time, but I spend a quality time, right? Number two. And also, how do you be a good wife? I just think that you need to respect. I always tell my husband, I say that we married for 30 years, right? We cannot take each other for granted, right? Because respecting, just like you have to love me, right? I used to tell all the men, I say that if you love your wife, they can give you the whole world. You show them you love them, right? Or you love them. And then if the wife can respect the husband, right? You treat her husband. Like for example, when I come home, my husband is a man who is in the house, not me. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that, right? Even that I do very well in my business. That our business. That's what I'm good at. And he's good enough and he's strong enough for me to do what I'm doing, right? And also, how do I balance my kids' schedule or whatever? I apply a lot of soft skill I learned in the business world in my family also, like integrity, honesty, right? You have to hardworking, right? You have to all those things. So I don't think you need to juggle. You just need to know when, let's say for example, when my kids have a very important game, then I will skip the meeting. I will go to my kids' game, right? But let's say for example, I have a very important meeting. My kids practice. I may not go, right? So you really need to know and know what to do in your own family household. So for me, it's very important that I will write down that what is important, what is urgent, what is important and not urgent, and what is not important and not urgent. So to-do list is very important for me. I always have a to-do list, right? To-do list for my business, to-do list for my family. And I want to show you something. Okay, since you're here, right? I don't know whether you can see this, right? So this is the goal that we set as a family, right? So this is what is a goal, like 2000 goal, family and faith and health, right? And then academic, career and business, finance, relationship, self-improvement, 90 days. So this is my daughter, what she want to do. And this is the other daughter. And this is my husband. And this is me. So that then we have the perspective that what we want to do for a family, right? So we do not lost touch of that. So as we finish a goal, like for example, next month I will look at this again. Sometimes I look at this monthly, right, to see what do I need to do if I finish it or if I did not finish it. So every single year that what we do is actually, I think it's very helpful. We travel. I like to travel together. My kids have visited about 40 over country already, right? So my goal is before I die, I want to travel around the world, every continent. I want to be able to visit. I was just I was in Antarctica.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. I was in Antarctica, right? So that's one of the continent that I want to visit. So, and I figure I'm still young because the water is very rough, you know what I'm saying? So if you are physically not strong, it's very hard to go to that place. So then when we travel together, we always count down countdown together at the New Year Eve. Then we will do the plan on the New Year Day, right? New Year Day, so that we all set goal, right? So then I think then whenever we have some conflict or we have some disagreement, then we go back to where we came from. So I learned this. I learned this from, I don't know who I learned this. It's not even one of the leader. I learned it at Water Convention, and it helped me a lot. Right?
That's great. Now, so with the pandemic and people working out of their house now and being confined to their home and doing Zooms and webinars and things like that, do you think that offices, like regular commercial offices, are going to be needed anymore in the future for a lot of people? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that like my office is about 9,000 square feet. My own office, right? That's where. Then I have many offices around the country, right? But that's where my base, right? So I think I think that we may. Yeah, I do not know. Seriously, I just think that we may not need that big or the space anymore, right? But I still think that we need to interact also, right? I think if you're in a commercial building or so, your business model might have to change a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, for me, I think in our business, maybe that we don't need as big of the space anymore, right? Because right now there's a lot of space we can when we get together, we can have a, like this meeting, we have 600 people, we can actually get everybody together. Yeah, but my office, I think, is still okay. But I think, but if a next office I have, I may not, I want to, maybe I want to do it a little bit smaller. Then I want to invest a lot of money in technology. I want to invest a lot of money in technology. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I'm going to ask a few questions here from people. If you can just give like quick 30-second responses to these, Penny. So here's the first question. It says, I believe in the system, but I feel I don't know how to hire and recruit or help others and don't have confidence. What should I do differently? So basically, it's like, how do you build confidence? If you don't have confidence in something, how do you build confidence?
I think confident by practicing, and confident by borrow other people's confidence first. So talk to your leader who know how to, who's good, better than you.
Well, that's good. So leverage your leaders and people who do have confidence. All right. Next one is, what is your mindset when people say no to you? What is your mindset when people have invested time with, has left your organization? So how do you take the rejection? Like, this is a rejection question. Like, how do you handle rejection?
I think that you have to, and you first thing first, you know that it's not everybody going to stay with you, right? And sometimes people leave you is a good thing, right? Because maybe their core values are different.
Yeah.
Right, it's very important. Number two, also, I think that also when you have rejection, they just say no to you right now, right? It doesn't say no to you. They say no to the opportunity. They do not say no to you. So never put down yourself down. And sometimes also that you have to know that sometimes it doesn't make sense. Even, you try to think it through, it will not, right? For me also, I just let it go, right? So, if they leave, they leave, no? Then I just need to become better next time.
Okay. Let's see here. Do you face discrimination, you think, as a female, and also being Asian, and how did you overcome it?
I think at some degree you do have it, but the one who discriminate, usually they are not do better than me, so I really care less.
That's the way. That's a good response, right? Another one here is, what is your morning ritual and your habit, and do you work out?
I do. Yeah, I do. I'm a Libra, so a Libra will like beautiful thing. I do exercise. In the morning, I wake up, I drink water, then I exercise. I exercise before I eat anything. And I pray, right? I pray because I pray to my God. And then I get on Zoom right now. In fact, I go to the office. I actually go to my office. I go to physical office.
Oh, to your commercial office.
Yeah. Because if I stay home, I would keep eating. So I cannot. If I stay home, I will keep, like, go to my refrigerator. I will keep eating stuff. So this month, I stay home for 30 days. Even when I exercise, I felt I gained some weight, so that I stopped. So right now I go to the office.
Okay, great. Name 3 books that you would recommend to people who want to grow their mindset.
Yeah, Think and Grow Rich, right? It's a must, right? That's number 1. And number 2, also, I have some Chinese book that I like, but I don't know whether they have in English. I like to read history. I read a lot of history. I like to read how people build their empire, and how they lose it, and how they rebuild it. So that I know people going through. I think biography is actually very important, right? Very important, yeah.
Hey, what do you think about this book right here I'm holding up?
Yeah, this is excellent. This is excellent. Because you just get whatever people suck. You learn from other people's secret, right? So you don't have to figure out your own secret.
Yeah, exactly. One person asked a question. You'd mentioned earlier that you would invest in technology. What kind of technology would you invest in regards to office or your business?
I think right now there's a lot of tool right now. Like, for example, that in this Zoom call, that you can break into the break room. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I'm talking to you right now. I can pull 5 people, go to another break room, right? So that I think that if your business like right now, that I just upgrade mine into, I'm going to upgrade into 3,000 or 5,000 Zoom line. You know what I'm saying? So that's number 1, right? So that it costs money to do that. And also, I also believe that I need to have some of the tool that I can actually analyze my business a little bit better, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, all these things.
Okay, great. And then how do you retain your people from quitting and keeping your people inspired?
I think people quit. Usually they quit not because of usually they quit because of the feeling, you know, they're frustrated. The relationship is very, very important, right? So you need to build relationship. Number two, also people quit because it's a different value system. You and them doesn't have the same value system. So if you can have them have the same value system, and also they have relationship with you, and then I think inspiration came in from when you do things, right? It's not what you say, it's what you do. It's very important. And also that when you have a bigger vision, people get inspired by your vision, right? By your vision. A vision can actually pull a lot of people together.
Great. There's a question that says, how do you become a better salesperson?
I think if you're very passionate about what you're doing, and then I don't think it's more passion, but people will buy from you, right? Because you are very passionate what you do. And also, I also believe that you need to improve, right? For me, right now, you know, I have English. My English is my second language, right? One of my problems, because I think for those who listen to me right now, I came from, you know, I'm never good in languages. So my grammar is not good, right? So actually I have I have 2 English teachers right now to teach me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so it is very important that I think that if you want to inspire people, like Shin, right? You are very good. You know how to articulate, man. So for people who actually with you, they are very lucky, right? You're one of the very profound and very powerful speaker, right? So I cannot be like you. It's going to take time for me to be like you. So how do I survive in this environment? So then I need to use my heart to talk, right? But I do believe that I want to do a bigger thing. I do believe I need to improve myself, you know. So either you're a good speaker or you're not a good speaker. I think good speaker, genuine, and then they are very congruent. You can inspire people, right? But I think the message have to come across clearly so people can understand you.
Great. I'm just going to ask you 2 more questions here, Penny, and because I promised to keep you for only an hour, and I know you've got other Zoom calls, but these are some good ones here that people are asking. It says here, what did you do when you looked at your slide, on your slide where you showed the number in your production and recruits? In 1996, you had 57, and in the previous month, you only had 5. So you increased by almost 1,000 times, right? Or 100 times. How did you go from 5 to 57?
The 57 is the wrong number. I think it's a computer glitch.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the answer to that question right here. Let's see here. Quickly, how do you build leaders? Because you have got almost 18 CEOs or 17, 18 CEOs now, right? How did you build leaders?
I think that you build leader by, first thing first, when they are young, you have to build relationship. And then after that, then you need to identify the gift, you know what I'm saying? Identify the gift so that you need to get the best out of them. And then also that you need to, once you identify, you give them instruction, right? You have to give them instruction, right? What to do. Yeah. And then after that, you challenge them, right? You challenge them. And then right now, I think that when I have CEO also that they are, like last night, I have a CEO meeting with every single one of them because after 30 days, right? So we talk about 4 hours and then you'll be amazed at how talented you are. So my style a little different because, you know, I came from a very hand-on leadership. But right now that this Corona period, the pandemic, I just think that my guys are so talented, right? They know how to expand the business. So we talk, right? So if you know how to build leader, I think, like, for example, you are very good at that. Like Jamie, right? She do her own stuff. You give her a lot of room to improve, right? To grow. So how do you build a leader? So you have to let them know that they are superstar, right? Like Mala, right? This is what you are good at, right? You need to join if you John Shin, you need to ask John Shin how she be her leader, right? Mm-hmm. You are very good at John Shin.
Do you have lots of parties, not parties, but gatherings, and have your people come to your house a lot and do a lot of team bonding events?
I do, right? I have a base shop gathering, and then I have they throw contests and they came to my home, right? Then they come to my home, and then yeah, we do. Yeah.
Got it. Awesome. Okay. Well, that's, you guys, I promised I'd keep Penny for an hour and I want to live up to that. But I know that you guys thought Penny was awesome. There's more questions coming in. Can we give Penny a big round of applause? Everybody give some thumbs up.
Thank you,
Yes.
George. Yeah, thank you.
You're incredible. Thank you so much, Penny. And we think the world of you, and we know we want you and your family to continue to be safe during the quarantine here in California. So say hello to the family for me.
So thank you, and say same here to say give my heart and love to your family, huh?
You bet. All right, Penny. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, you guys, just stay with me here. I'm going to quickly just finish up with my PowerPoint. And so, is it this one here? Yeah. So bear with me here. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys, first of all, was, what was that? Oh, what's going on here? Give me 1 second, guys. All right, we got my PowerPoint up. No, here we go. Okay, so one of the things that has come up in one of the conversations I've had with people is, you know, people are spending, what are they spending their stimulus packages, you know, the stimulus checks, the $1,200, $2,400. And one of the things that I noticed that people are spending their money on is on alcohol. You know, and if you look at the alcohol consumption here, and Monty Holm, one of my mentors, alluded to it a few days ago, and he said that spirit sales are up right now 29.4%, and this is just information we got from Forbes. If you look at wine sales, they're up 32%, almost 38%. Beer sales are up almost 12%. And so, you know, obviously a lot of this is attributing to stress and how people handle stress, which is probably another webinar that we should do, is how to handle stress as you're quarantined at home. And so for those of you that don't drink alcohol, one of the things is I want to, you know, really discourage the consumption of alcohol. It certainly isn't going to serve you in any way, right? It might be a temporary fix and helping you feel good for now, but at the end of the day, why are these numbers so high? So that's really the question, and we would really want to jump on another webinar and bring in some experts to have that discussion of what you could be doing. But what can you be using the stimulus checks on? And here are some things that came up as I've had some discussions with some people, is what could you do, right? And so I've been having numerous conversations with different people, and I said, you know, what would you do if you got $1,200, okay? And I want to talk about some of these things here real quick. Top 10 things. You know, it's kind of like the old days when you were watching The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. He used to say the top 10, right? What was it called? You guys remember that? It was called the top, his top 10 thing that Johnny Carson used to do. And so I want to go over the top 10 things with you guys here, what I would do if I had $1,200. Number one is I may want to pay off some of my high interest credit card debt. So this is an opportunity where if you've got 24, 25, 26% type interest, you may want to pay it off. Or what you may even want to do is keep that cash and maybe even apply for a credit card that has 0%, and that you can, you know, it's up for 1 year, and you could do a rollover, right? So take that existing debt, roll it over to another credit card debt credit card company, and have that at 0% for 12 months. And a lot of credit card companies are doing that, and keep your cash. So that's my opinion. But if you've got super bad credit already and you won't be able to qualify for that, then I would apply that money to my credit card debt and try to get my debt down as quickly as possible. Number two is start an emergency fund, right? So as you know, gosh, you know, I don't mean to be like a Debbie Downer, right? You know, or you know, trying to bring bad news to you. But as we're starting to flatten the curve, which is another kind of interesting thing, I'm curious to know what you guys would all do if you would just, you know, text it there. You know, like we know that a lot of states are already opening the doors, and my question for you is, would you guys, if California opened up tomorrow and said, hey, okay, all businesses reopen, are you guys all going to go out? I mean, I'm just kind of curious. I've spoke to several people already, and most of the people I spoke to said, not a chance. I wouldn't go out. I would still stay at home. I'd love to know your feedback. Text me if you've got my phone number. Would you still go to your favorite restaurant? Are you still going to go to public places? Some people said they would. Some people they wouldn't. But as we all know, as we flatten this curve, that, you know, this is not going to be the last time we're going to have another emergency, right? Or an outbreak or some other urgent situation that we're going to have to face. And so, again, I really, really want to encourage all of you guys to start creating that emergency fund. And at the very minimum, have 3 months or 6 months. But, you know, if you've got some serious health issues, you may even need to have at least 1 year's worth of emergency money. And I mean, emergency money is like cash that you can get to pretty quickly within 24 hours, okay? Number 3 is save and invest that money. Maybe start a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA, okay? So that's something that you may want to consider. Make sure you talk to somebody who is an expert in this area, someone who invited you on this call or this webinar. And if you have any questions about this, give me a jingle. I'd love to chat with you about this as well. Number 4 is to buy income producing equipment, right? So maybe this is a chance for you to start your own podcast show and start, you know, generating income, whether you're buying different kinds of, you know, microphones that you get better sound, some headsets and whatever it is. And next, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, so, you know, a week from this coming Saturday, I'm actually going to have at 2:00 p.m., a like a 2-hour program, bringing some experts in and how to build your brand, like how to start your own podcast show and things like that to build up your own brand. So it's going to be a 2-hour session. We're bringing some experts in and teaching you how to do that. Okay, so get you know, watch all my emails and my Instagrams and my stories and stuff like that, and you'll see the time and dates and the registration and all that kind of stuff. What else could you be doing with your stimulus package? Getting a business license, getting a life and health license, maybe get a securities license, a real estate license, right? Whatever it is, take this time to go get a license and start making some money with a license, okay? So, you know, we're not just limited to this, but whatever else it is, even though I personally think that what I have listed here are probably the best things, but you go get a license, you know, and make the best out of it. Number 6, start a business, any kind of business, right? And if you don't know what kind of a business to start, give me a call, right? I'd love to talk to you about that, or talk with the person who invited you on this webinar, and we can certainly talk to you about starting a business and where you can build a business where it has amazing residual income and passive income coming in simultaneously. Number 7, buy silver. You know, some people said, hey, maybe I should go buy some silver with it. John, do you recommend it? You know, I've got mixed emotions about buying silver, but I would say I don't know if I would put 100% of my money into silver, but you know, if you want to go buy some silver and have a little bit of that money, your money is saved up in silver, hey, why not? It's, you know, it's called diversification. So, you know, buy some silver. At least you know that's an investment that you can make, and there's a chance that it could go up, right? Number 8, depending on your philosophy and where you stand with ammunition, right? But some people even classify ammunition as an asset. If I look back 10 years or 20 years from back, ammunition was a lot cheaper 25 years ago, and I can tell you ammunition has become very expensive. So the value of ammunition is going up, and someday you could turn around and sell it. So, I mean, you don't have to use the ammunition, but it might be a good investment. You know, that's something for you to think about. Number 9 is give it to people in need, right? Different charities, people who really could use this money, but you don't need that money. And some of you guys have said, well, why would I do the other 8 things that you just showed on this on my screen? Because right now, John, I don't even have a job. I don't have food I can't put food on the table. Well, you know, this is a time for you to consider, if you haven't already, you know, there's unemployment, and even with unemployment checks, they've increased the dollar amount of your unemployment checks. And, you know, or maybe some of you guys have said, I haven't even applied for unemployment, but if you don't have unemployment opportunities, then hey, well then guess what? I mean, you're gonna have to use that money and put food on the table and buy milk and bread and cheese and whatever else and put some, meat and on the table. So I get it, but if you do have some savings and you already have money and you've got an income stream and you've got, and for whatever reason you received a government check. I mean, I know people right now that make a ton of money, and even businesses that make millions of dollars a year, and they got a big check from the government. I mean, holy smokes. And I'm not talking like a few $1,000s. I mean, millions of dollars, and they really didn't need that money. And fortunately for the right organizations, they actually gave the money back. But you can take that money and give it to people in need. But I mean, if you're going through some tough times, certainly you won't be able to do the other 8 things that I just alluded to, and you would have to put food on the table and keep that roof over your head. And finally, number 10 is maybe even consider buying something called term life insurance with some living benefits. Now, a lot of you may say, well, I already got term life insurance, but maybe you don't have any living benefits with it, which means there's no long-term care and disability. And if you look at, I don't know if you could see my mouse or not, but you could see the family with an umbrella, right? Meaning protect yourself. God forbid if you became, severely sick, long-term, and even had a disability of some sort. These new term life insurance policies that are coming out actually have more benefits with them than the older policies. And so you may want to have somebody review your existing term life insurance. If you already have one, wonderful, congrats, but have it reviewed and maybe even do an upgrade on your current term life insurance, okay? So those are just some ideas, some things that you can do with your stimulus check, and I'm sure a lot of you had some other ideas, but consider doing those things right there. So right now, just so you guys all know, this is a time for you to look in the mirror and say, that's your competition, right? Is this the best you that you can be, right? Is this the best version of you? And, as Penny alluded to earlier is, who are your friends during the tough times, right? I mean, because those are your true friends. I mean, everybody wants to be your friend when everything is hunky-dory and things are going great, but are there friends that could be there for you when you're going through some tough times? Well, it's the same thing as, I mean, everybody could always say that it's the best version of me when things are going great, but how are you doing in times of adversity and you're facing a lot of challenges? So I want you to look in the mirror and say, that's your competition. I want you to really challenge yourself today and say, I could be better than this, right? I'm better than this. I can handle more than this. And this is where you have to be the best version of you during these unprecedented times, right? And to help you out, just so you guys all know, my good friend Sharon Lecter is offering a program. It's absolutely free. You'll see up here at the top, it says get a free ticket to reinvent yourself. And so you register now here from assetsAreSexy.com, assetsAreSexy.com. And it starts in the morning from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m., May 15th. So it's about a week away from now. And these lovely ladies here are there to offer you some amazing stuff. Certainly want you to tune in and get a little piece of that to help you guys out and give you some direction.